My distinguished Senator.
You know you have been for the price of one. We are honored.
How are you?
Very impressive. Let's leave.
So you are seeing.
But it gives me great pleasure to be here today to see you after we have spoken and after we have interacted on a number of issues. 2 or 3 major objectives driving this visit. The first is to express our sincere gratitude to the government and the people of Ogun State, having been our very, very good landlord for as long as we can remember the history of customs. My colleague, the MC, just mentioned the fact that the first land border was there in Ogun State, and I was trying to just do a very quick check, and that is actually validated. It's not the first customs point of entry. The first customs point of entry where declarations were made was actually on a floating boat called the Hawk Sentinel. It's somewhere around Badagry Creek, and that was where major imports and exports, the channel through which they were coming into Nigeria. But of course, we know that the first land border is right here in Ogun State. And over a century of our history, I must say that the people of Ogun State, they have proven to be very welcoming hosts to Nigeria Customs Service. They have provided us a very good and conducive environment for us to operate. Each time we look at Ogun State, perhaps we only look at the land border operations. What we do in Ogun State goes beyond the land borders. We do know that Ogun is an industrial powerhouse in Nigeria. And over the years, we have also operated in so many of the industries that have provided so much GDP and economic growth to Nigeria. This has provided us opportunities where we raise excise revenue and contributed to the development. Now, over the last few years, we've witnessed an expansion in our activities in and around the Southwest. Deliberately, I came with the zonal coordinator of our zone in Zone A, which covers the entire Southwest, and I came with the major controllers, the port controllers, the airport controllers, and all of them. This is very deliberate because Ogun is an essential part of our operations in the Southwest. And about 3 years ago, management of the Nigeria Customs Service decided that the space where we were operating our Federal Operations Unit, which is the major anti-smuggling component of the unit, and our zonal office, which is the administrative headquarters, was getting too small for the size of our operations. If you want to put it in perspectives, between 75 and 80% of the revenue and the core operations that we do is conducted in the zone. And we now felt that we needed a more conducive, a more expansive area that will match the volume of operations that we did. And an approach was made to His Excellency the Governor, and I'm happy to announce that we got all we needed for us to relocate our zonal office and the Federal Operations Unit from where they are choked in Lagos to a more convenient place in Ogun State. I therefore, on behalf of my delegation and the board of the Nigeria Customs Service, once again wish to express our sincere gratitude for the gesture that you have given us by providing us this environment where we can better express the implementation of the mandates that we have.
We first thank the CG and thank also the controllers in Ogun State for all the work they've been doing in Ogun State. I want to thank them particularly for the collaboration and cooperation with other members of our law enforcement architecture. I want to thank the Nigerian Customs again, because if I don't do so, I will be an ingrate. I recall that when I was striving and working hard to become the governor of this state in 2019, part of the strategy of my opponents was to bring people in across the border to come and vote. And the CG of Customs then promptly rose to that occasion and ensured that nobody crossed the border. And this contributed very likely to the success of my elections in 2019. So again, I want to thank the men of Nigerian Customs for working with us. I want to appreciate particularly your predecessor, Colonel Hamid Ali, for his forward thinking and his proactiveness as well. I recall that I sat with him and he went through the constraints of Nigerian Customs as you presented in your remarks, and the fact and the need to begin to look for how to expand and better ventilate. And I did not waste time in offering Ogun State as the preferred and choice destination for that expansion. And the reasons for that were not very far-fetched. I was able to convince your predecessor, CG Colonel Ali, that we were on the verge of beginning to construct the first truly international cargo airport in Nigeria, and that cargo airport will be situated in the first special agro-processing zone in Nigeria. And that location that we have chosen would be what Abuja is to the rest of the country. It will be like the center point of Ogun State, and from that location will be bound by Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on one part and Shagamu-Benin Expressway on another part. So it guarantees access from Lagos to that location, probably be an hour, and from that location we can export to the rest of the hinterland. And the fact that we're also about to commence the construction of our Olukola seaport, Ogun State dry port, and the fact that we are well aware that the Ashwaji administration would revisit the issue of the Olukola natural gas project. And all these reasons and more, and of course the fact that we remain in a very busy border with Benin Republic, the business case that I laid before Colonel Hamid Ali retired, that Ogun State should be the strategic choice for these new federal operations, training, zonal headquarters, of course what we call the customs village. And I must say that it didn't take him 15 minutes to appreciate, my representation, and immediately keyed into it. We made, in fact, Nigerian Customs were the first allottee of land in a special processing zone. The first. And that will continue to be part of history.
Are paid so that we can continue to have enough funds to implement the different programs of government. Now, besides that, we conceived a vision of building an aerotropolis, which is an airport village, which would comprise of an airport, a special agro-processing zone, and other businesses because of the unique position of our dear state. We felt that that airport must, of course, have Nigerian Customs, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Police, and other law enforcement architecture. It happened to coincide with the time when the Nigerian Customs Service were also beginning to reassess their operational base in Lagos. The assessment along the lines of a need for increased capacity. We sat with them, we listened to them, and we were quick to offer that they should come and make Ogun State their home. So their need and our vision was closely aligned and has become very intertwined. What we are seeing today is exemplary. I remarked earlier that I didn't expect anything, a quarter of this quality from a government agency, and I'm sorry. That's not a very kind remark. But CG Adeni has shown that indeed public service, government agencies can do things like we state governments do or even do better. This place will be probably one of the facilities that customs will have in Nigeria, maybe even in Africa. As you can see, this is the administrative and operational building. Here we have going to have accommodation for about 600 to 800 customs personnel of various categories. We have a college here, secondary school, mosque, space of worship, recreation, warehouses, and all this, in a landscape that is world class. So this will complement what we are doing in Ogun State. Beyond the airport, they are now well positioned to ensure they provide services to our intended seaport, our dry port, our border with Benin Republic, which is the longest border in Nigeria, and of course, provide the needed support for the entire Southwest. So I can't be more proud than to be governor of Ogun State at this time, witnessing such a laudable implementation of a vision that started maybe 3 years ago. This project is less than a year old. What you see today, it underscores the commitment, determination, the zeal, and focus of the headship of Nigerian Customs. And again, I want to salute CG Wale Adeni for leading from the front. So, am I impressed?
Yes, sir.
Seeing is the believing. Are you impressed?
Very well.
Well, I would say that I've been here a couple of times. I've been in Ogun State for a couple of times. I've seen what has been happening in Ogun State before, and I'm seeing the difference now. I think that we have a government that is responsive to the yearning of people. I see a government that is pro the needs of the people. I said earlier that I have worked with Excellency on a number of projects before, and these are projects that touch on, the well-being of the people, the welfare of the people. We've worked on a number of food projects before, designed to alleviate the problem of hunger, and His Excellency has led that project from the front. I'm very glad to have been part of it. And from the look of things, it is still work in progress. We are still going to do more to ensure that we bring the dividends of governance to Nigerians. But talking about this project itself, customs administration requires modernization in so many ways. And one of the things that we can do to modernize our operations is by improving the environments under which we perform this job. Inside this customs village, infrastructures that have been designed to advance the cost of customs administrations, capacity building, recreation, welfare, all of them. It's a one-stop what we just call customs village, which is going to, improve virtually every aspect of customs operations. I'm indeed very, very happy that we have found a worthy partner, a worthy supporter in His Excellency Governor Abiodun and the government and people of Ogun State. We all saw the very warm reception that we got from the workers in this place. So we are already beginning to see beyond the completion of these projects, what implication, what economic implication it will bring, what multiplier effects it would create, what wealth it will create for the people of Ogun State. So we are excited that the project is, going on very, very well. It will help and add pep to our operations. It will help us to conduct anti-smuggling operations in a better way. You know, even if you just take warehouse alone, warehouse procedures alone, you need very good space. You need modern equipment to operate a modern warehouse. And where we are presently, you know, we already, you know, we are already overstretched, and we need space like this, you know, and then with even better room for expansion in the future to adequately, you know, do our job. And we are also happy that we have an international airport that is going to be right behind our facility. So, you know, this is going to be something like, you know, everything you want to conduct international trade, you get it in one space. So I want to sincerely, you know, express our support, our gratitude to the government and the people of Ogun State for this opportunity they have given us. And I'm also commend our project managers, the contractor, the project consultants that are delivering this wonderful project. In terms of quality, in terms of timeline, you know, they are all ahead. So I want to say a very big thank you to them. For the people of Ogun State, we are coming in big time, and I want to assure them that it's going to be a partnership that works.
Thank you very much.